Alrighty, back with what your ex says about you. A very popular segment on TikTok and Instagram. So we're bringing it back. This week we have a corporate edition. So everything that is in the work life, the corporate life, we will do today. So the first one we have is your email signature. So the sign off you have when you finish up an email, what little greetings you put at the end. Alrighty, I will kick us off. My one is just the plain old thanks. So if thanks is your email signature, you're very vanilla. You stick to the basics and you're too scared to change it up and go away from the norm. Your most listened to artist is Taylor Swift and you order plain chicken at Nando's because the lemon and herb is too spicy. Okay. Thanks is just the default, the basic. You don't know anything. You don't want to even expand to anything else. You're not willing to give it a go. Just vanilla. Anyone use thanks?
I use thanks all the time.
I'm a serial thanks merchant.
Dare I suggest thanks is the only signature I use?
Yeah.
Did you ever consider using something else though?
I don't like kind regards. My regards aren't kind.
Thank you.
No, thank you's too much.
Yeah.
I used to be I actually
Salutations.
I've actually never seen that.
no, I've never seen that. Best,
Really?
yeah, best Rohit.
Best is a
Beautiful.
bit.
But surely best has to be a best regards.
No, people use best.
Just best.
What about a warm regards? I hate a warm regards.
Now, warm regards feels loving to me. You're right. Thanks is very plain.
It's cold.
It's vanilla. I wouldn't
cold.
say it's cold. I would just say it's neutral.
You don't think it's cold?
No, thanks is good.
Thanks, you just don't even process in your brain. It's just one of those things you don't even look at.
Well-
Like a best, you actually think about and consider what is this geezer about.
Yeah, thanks is you see it on the page. Fantastic. You don't even put any mental energy in reading the sign off.
Yeah. Best is mysterious.
Best, what is this
bro?
person, man? Who is this?
I've never
To
seen
say-
a best, to be honest.
I've seen it and it's jarring.
I actually learned, my first mentor at work used to sign off with best. And I just thought it was, I actually really liked it because it was a bit different, you know?
Did you adapt it?
No, I
Did you
didn't.
adopt it, sorry?
I did not adopt it. I went with my one, I went with your one, which is thanks.
Okay. Mine is cheers. So if you're signing off your email with cheers, you're either the chill fun guy at work or you think you're the chill fun guy at work. You probably think adding a cheers at the end of your email makes whatever heinous request you ask for a little bit better, a little bit more palatable. And there's also a high chance you sign off your email with just your initials.
So like
S.
a cheers S. Not even
S.
STS.
Yeah, cheers S.
I don't like initial nicknames.
I hate
Yeah.
nicknames.
As in like people use it.
I
in
don't
the
mind.
office.
I actually don't mind the initial nickname.
Oh, send the email to S. Fuck
No,
off.
but usually it's like SJ.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I mean?
usually go
Nah,
for the
in
full.
my workplace, people are adopting the Z.
What are you? You a
What?
Gossip Girl character or something? What are you doing?
I don't adopt. I don't want to touch it, but it's coming into the workplace.
Cheers is good. I like cheers.
I like a cheers.
Honestly, shows, keep it casual is what I feel like. In a world full of professionalism, just keep it simple.
If I'm in a good mood, cheers.
And it's
for
a nice
sure.
balance. You know, it's not too. You're not trying too much.
Yeah, exactly. It's not too try hard.
But are you dropping cheers to external clients?
Depends on how well you know them. So yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But mostly internal, I feel.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Look, I got kind regards as my sign off. And look, to be honest, if you sign off with kind regards, I feel like you're a naturally passive aggressive person. You like to start fights with your partner by, starting with, I just think it's funny, but you're basically asking someone to meet you in the car park, but you've got a mortgage to pay, so you can't really afford to be fired. And not only that, you then think you can communicate your aggression to the email recipient with the next email by getting rid of the kind and just having regards.
That's crazy.
But in reality, no one actually notices it or really cares about it.
I don't think kind regards is that aggressive. I sometimes go for the kind regards.
I feel like I've encountered that power play of the kind regards and just regards.
Then regards the
if
next
like
one.
if I then replied completely ignoring one part of the email, then they'll hit me back with a please see the noted above regards, like that type of vibe.
No, kind regards gives me the heebie-jeebies, bro.
Because it's not kind. In reality, it doesn't sound kind.
Like if you were kind, you'd just use thanks or cheers.
I feel like kind regards is more professional than a thanks. I see kind regards more often than I see a thanks.
But to be fair, I get shivers when I see regards. Regards actually sends a shiver down my
so
spine.
why are they not adding kind?
No, but the kind regards is like, if you want to be professional, you hit regards. If you want to be passive aggressive, you're hitting me with a kind regards.
I actually think it's the other way around. I think kind regards
I
is the
think it's the
nicer
other way
version
around.
of regards.
I feel like if it's you need to be really professional, and it's the first email you're sending to someone. Kind regards is the perfect thing to use.
Yeah.
Internally, Matt, you're getting the 1-2 punch with the kind regards and the regards, and then the next email doesn't even have regards. It's just your name, no email signature.
No,
At all.
the next email would not even have a hello anymore. It's just please see above.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
No
what
hi,
about,
no goodbye.
what about no sign off? Just the name to sign off.
That's alpha.
Are you writing a letter, bro?
Nah,
Like,
that's
it's
straight
a
up
lot.
alpha.
What about the name that is part of your default signature? So they haven't typed it. It's
Wait,
part
what?
of the signature of their email.
What do you mean?
You know how at the bottom of
Yeah,
all
you
your
have email
emails, you have
signature.
your company logo, you have your
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
etc.
yeah.
What if they've already added in their sign off in that signature?
Oh, I think that's okay.
I think that's fine as
I
well.
think that's fine.
It looks a bit
It looks a bit janky,
janky, dude.
but I think that's play.
Give me respect. At least type out your name, or at least give me some personalized thank you.
By itself, what are you thinking by itself?
just the name.
Yeah,
I
signing off
hate
with
it.
send.
I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, it's too formal.
I don't think it's. I think it's just. I think if you have to be like a director level.
Yeah,
and above.
you have to correct. You can't be doing it as a pleb. You have to be like a partner or a director, and then just
I
your
feel
name.
like partner, you just have sent from my iPhone. You don't even have your name.
Yeah,
You
your
don't have
lowercase.
No,
anything.
Partner director, yeah, there's no hi and there's no sign off. It's just whatever the instruction is, and then that's it.
Sent from my iPhone. That's email sign-offs. Let us know if we've missed any of the key ones. The next topic we have is work laptop. So what your work laptop says about you. I'll kick us off again, and I have a Dell. The computer, not the singer, just to be completely clear. So if you have a Dell laptop, you are a solid and reliable person. You're the friend that everyone trusts and comes to for advice. You're always happy to pick up the bill and work out the beam split between everyone. And you probably work for an ASX listed company, so you have a safe and reliable job. Sort of sums you up as a person. You're just there, you're solid, you're reliable, you can be depended on by everyone and anything.
I'm a big fan of Adele.
Yeah, got good stuff.
Can't make it
Stop.
twice in a row.
I can make it 3 times actually.
Yeah, I currently use a Dell. I currently use
A.
Dell laptop at my current place, and I must say it is a delightful laptop to use.
I feel like multiple of my previous jobs have been Dell laptops.
Oh, really?
And then if you just look around, everyone seems to have one as well. I feel like most companies use
This
Dell
is the first time I've
brand.
used Dell. The last company I worked for, and I'll get to it, used Lenovo, and that was less than stellar, I must
I feel
say.
like the Dell Latitude 5420 is the premier
choice.
corporate laptop.
It's so yeah, you're right. It's reliable, but it's just boring, man. You just sold your
It's
soul.
boring. It wheezes a lot because like it's probably been through like 10 employees.
You have to just put it on the charger at all times, otherwise it dies in 15 seconds.
I feel like that's most work laptops, though, except for maybe a Mac. But I feel like most work laptops just don't have good battery.
They don't have good because no one takes care of their work laptop.
That is true.
Beat up.
It's chucked around. I use it as like a table mat sometimes.
I used to use my old laptop as a table mat. You put your food on it. No way.
As in, like, let's say I'm working at my desk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm low on desk space and I need to eat.
Yeah.
Shut the laptop.
Mate, there
Put
you
the
go.
plate on top. and have a feed.
That's crazy.
That's outrageous.
What am I going to use? Things I have purchased myself?
No, that's fair. But what about just a regular table mat?
I ain't got time and space.
Or
for
no
that.
table mat. I mean,
So where am I putting my laptop then?
even on the floor, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
but I'm treating it with the same respect then.
I used to use I didn't even have a case for my laptop. So I would just put the laptop, nude in the bag, and I'd be chucking my bag around, and you'd hear the
Clanking
damage
in there.
of the laptop. Seriously.
Do people have work laptop cases?
No, as in like you'll get like a sleeve or a pouch to put it in.
I
right?
didn't get that.
Oh, what?
Are you going raw?
No, but as in you didn't get one to begin with.
No, I was given the laptop. I was given to be
Oh.
fair, it's just aside. My first day of work, when I got my laptop,
Mm.
I went into the office, and right before I got into the office, my manager texted me, there's been a couple cases of COVID. So don't come in the office, just go home. I don't have a fucking laptop, right? And then they're like, I will get you the laptop. Meet me outside the office.
In the car
So she
park.
comes out with gloves and a face mask on. Here's your laptop. Go back home.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's
she
fair enough.
dropped
So
it
probably
in
the
a tea.
sleeve was low priority on that day.
No, probably.
So wait, when you go into the office, are you telling me you just chuck your laptop in your backpack? That's it.
Yeah, I don't have a sleeve.
Really?
Wow. Okay. I
How
thought I was.
scuffed is your laptop then?
The Dell Latitude 5420 gets
Shut
through a
up
lot,
about the
man.
Latitude 530 or whatever. All right, I've got the Lenovo ThinkPad. So if you have a ThinkPad, you're probably too scared to open more than 3 Excel sheets because you know the ThinkPad will shit itself. The wheezing sound of the Lenovo fan is just white noise to you at this point. The Lenovo actually wheezes more than the Dell. My Dell wheezes, but the Lenovo was next level. It's called a ThinkPad, but let's be honest, you're not doing much thinking, are you? And finally, your company does not care about you. I know this for a fact. I worked at KPMG. They gave us Lenovo ThinkPads, and that's what they thought of us.
They didn't think about you.
No, we were not held in high regard. Dude, my phone has better computing power than my Lenovo. So Lenovo's are shit house. If you have a Lenovo, you know this person's not doing real work.
But I like the Lenovo, that little
The
red
mouse thing?
button in the middle.
I've never used that purposefully.
Really? I think it's a delightful little
So
invention.
you actually use it.
When I had a Lenovo, I used it. Yeah, it was good.
It's zero value ad, bro.
Yeah, I was
There's a
gonna say.
trackpad at the bottom does the same thing.
I'll tell you what, the Deloitte, I've seen the Deloitte laptops and they have a little green dot because Deloitte has a green theme.
Branding. I like it.
Customized, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. The Lenovo, I think I might have had one at PwC. Dude, Wheeze City. In order, you got to have a couple Excel sheets that you set open. You got to have also like Chrome open, and then you also have to have like some other software. Man, I couldn't load things half the time. Not responding.
I got the MacBook Pro. So if you own a MacBook Pro, you think work-life balance means 4 hours of actual work and 8 hours of complaining about coming back into the office. The only way that you're actually returning to the office is if they're offering a Herman Miller chair and cold drip coffee on tap. But the good thing is, you're very rich. You're definitely earning six figures. And because you live at home, you save 90% of your income. The only thing you spend your money on is Uber Eats and a mechanical keyboard, which sounds like tap dancing in a tin can. Lastly, usually cover your laptop in fully branded, company stickers because you're a shill for the corporation and you love your office so much.
Yeah, I feel Mac is purely like tech companies only or like software designers.
You're a software you're a tech person and you're most likely a software engineer. Mate, it's all you stick in, Canvas, Atlassian, the stickers that you get. I've seen them; they're just covered. Have you seen it?
I have seen them. Have they worked at all those companies? You reckon, or they're just like
They're
ash
fanboys.
catchers?
No, they're
Just collecting them.
No, if you're working at the company, and the thing is, when you go to all these tech events,
Don't need a resume. You just show them your MacBook cover. This is where I've worked.
at the events they hand out stickers, so people just take them and then just slap it on.
Okay.
So it's a little bit much.
I've always wanted a MacBook for work.
You use a MacBook, bro.
I use a MacBook Pro for work.
How much of that was inspired by your own?
Nah, honestly, a
Personality.
lot of it was the software engineering part of it.
Do you actually need a MacBook for your particular role?
No,
Can't you just do what you do on a Dell or a ThinkPad?
I can. I personally can. The MacBook coding is better on a MacBook. That's why.
That's what I've heard. I feel like that's such a buzzword. I feel like no one's actually explained to me why it's better.
One of my software engineer mates did explain it to me, but I can't remember exactly what he said. He said something like, I think if you have a Mac, you can code for iOS and Android. And if you have like a Lenovo, you can code on it for Android. And it's pretty difficult to code on Mac. Like it makes it a bit more challenging.
That I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, this is just a commonly held belief that everyone just passes on, but no one actually.
No, I think that's really, but I could be wrong, of course. I've spouted many a wrong opinion here.
All right. MacBook. What's next, Manu?
On to the next category we go. We have meeting background. So when you're in a meeting, a virtual meeting, and you can pick what goes behind you, this is what it says about you. So I'll kick us off. I've gone for no background. So you're raw dogging your virtual meetings, no nothing. If you've got no background, you're unhinged and you have a screw loose. You should have so much to hide, but you're just so open and willing to let everyone know about everything in your life. From the scams you run to your eccentric political views to the literal skeleton in your closet, everyone just knows too much about you. You probably think PDD is actually innocent and that 9/11 was an inside job. That's the sort of character you are with the no background.
Dude, no background is psychopathic. It really is. Like, not even a blur. You know what I mean? I got blur, but if you're going raw,
Nah, it's
that's outrageous.
minimum you got to blur respectfully. For respect for the others and for yourself.
The only time you can do it is if you're joining one from an office and there are other people with you
Yeah, agree.
in that meeting room. Every other scenario in life, at least a blur, please.
Zoom's got blur and then like high blur.
Is
There's-
it
yeah,
high
I think
there's
there's
two
two
levels.
options. I think Google Meet also has
Sorry,
that.
Google Meet is what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
Google Meet has
okay.
like half blur and then full blur. Mate, full blur all the way.
No one needs to see
What's
what's,
a
going on
half
behind
blur?
you.
It's like you can. I
You
don't
can
know.
still make out the objects behind.
Because the
Yeah.
problem with the full blur is it sometimes looks too like artificially edited.
Yeah.
So sometimes a
Who
half
cares?
blur is like a casual.
I like a half blur personally, but
Mm.
you know, no blur is outrageous. That's
I
ridiculous.
once accidentally unblurred on a client call, and they could see like my clothes in the background. And
Oh,
dude,
I'll get to that.
I've never felt that much shame before in my life.
Actually, you know what? This reminds me of a funny story. So, like, when I was working at my old company, I was in sales, and they had recently put in this software called Gong, and Gong records your like sales calls and records your video, and then it's like AI, and it's kind of used for training,
Yeah.
right?
okay.
But the thing is, I didn't realize this is that you could your manager can jump into like live sales calls,
Really?
so they
and
can
like listen in or actually like participate.
not listen in, so they can see what Gong is recording. Because in
They
the
can
meeting,
see your gong.
they can see my Gong. And so you're in there. And then I remember I think I was in Armidale,
They gonged you.
and my manager was listening on my Gong. And I, as the person in the meeting, have no idea what's happening.
Oh, so you can't see that they've.
No.
Oh,
That's
that kind of seems a bit
nefarious.
illegal.
So in the meeting, it's me, you, and the Gong AI or whatever. That's like sitting there, right?
Does the client or the customer know that the gong is listening?
Yeah. Customer knows Gong's listening
But for training purposes.
for training purposes, of course. But then your manager in gong.com, goes
Can enter.
live feed, and then they see everything that's going on. Anyways, I was in Armidale. I was visiting my partner, and I think she was on the bed lying down, and I thought I had positioned my camera to like avoid her in view. And then turns out you could see like her feet sticking out the side. And then my manager sends me a screenshot with a circle of the feet.
Nah, that's weird. That's so weird.
So is your call with the customer video?
Yeah.
So they can see the feet.
Yeah, they can see the feet as well. And
Okay.
but I just, you know how it's like a small window. You can't really
Yeah,
see
yeah.
exactly what's there.
But it's a big window for everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Did he say anything, or he just sent you a screenshot with the feet pics?
Was it like a haha, it's funny, or it's a don't do this, this is wrong type vibe?
So she, by the way, let's
sorry.
be disrespectful here. She's actually like a good friend of mine. So she just circles it and just gives me question mark. And then I was in the customer call, and I obviously this
See
popped
it.
up. I see it, I click on it because my engineer's talking. And then the sense of dread that filled me with, I was like, oh,
Do you tell
no.
him, scoot?
Get out of my gong, bro.
I turned-
Stop looking at my gong.
Yeah, well, no, I told Cindy, I was like, first of all, camera went off. I was like, get your feet out of the thing.
Get your poppies out of there.
Yeah. And then actually
pay
in
for that.
the one-on-one, I had a discussion about professionalism with my manager.
Really?
Really? That's, dude,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
harsh, bro.
No, it's
Doesn't
pretty
she have
village.
actual work to do instead of looking at people's gong?
Honestly, I think it's pretty village. Like, imagine you're trying to sell some software and some bloke's got his missus' dogs are out.
I can
hush puppies.
understand. I can understand that.
I've gone for if you have the company background. Do you guys have company backgrounds?
Every now and again in the company chat, they send through a background. I don't know if anyone uses it,
Nah.
but we have one every now and again.
I think if you use the company background, you love your company.
Mm.
Or your house is just so dreadful and in such a shambolic state that you simply can't even use the blur. Like it won't even hide the trash that is your house. So you have to use the company background. I've never, I was thinking of either doing this or the, like the fun, Zoom you can have like on, if you're on a beach or like that sort of, but I actually haven't seen anyone use that in such a long time.
A lot of people for my company use that, but
Same.
they
Really?
use but they don't use I'm in space, I'm in this. It's just
Yeah.
like a soft, I don't know, like the sky or something. It's like not in your face, like the outer space,
Yeah.
you're on New York and the whole landscape. Those ones I haven't seen in a very long time.
We actually, I don't think that's even allowed on our thing. It's either for us, it's no blur, or you have the whole, we have 15 or 20 company template
company
ones.
branded
But it's
ones.
That's
different,
crazy.
it's our different offices, so it looks like you're sitting in an office.
Oh, so it's not-
stifling you, bro.
And then our company name at the top.
That's all right. I thought it was just your company logo on repeat.
No, there is one like that. That one looks like you just won man of the match in a Premier League game and you're standing in front of the sponsor board. No, the people who use that are rogue, but no, most of the time it is, just it looks like an office setting.
we have those virtual backgrounds. People usually sit in the coffee shop or the library or a bookshelf
Yeah, those sort of
out of
ones.
space. But yeah, it's if you're using
I
a
feel-
company branded one, that's a little bit how you go.
I think it's better than I remember when in 2020, when we first started doing it, it was all the craze coming up with your own funny backgrounds. But now I think everyone's kind of gotten over the novelty of it. Now you just use whatever, I guess, default one there
when
is.
it comes to it. All right, my one, we've hinted around at this, all right? I'm going blur. Medium to full blur is what I'm going with. So to be honest, it's the equivalent of putting a sheet over your dirty clothes when your mum comes home. You want us to think you're protecting your privacy, but really you're just protecting us from seeing the clutter and the mess that sits behind your screen. You also tend to turn your camera off briefly to quickly, clean up the mess behind you when you see that even the blur shows a little, too much mess.
Oh, yeah.
You're paranoid that if you put a virtual background, like a coffee shop or outer space, you're paranoid that, if you put that as your background, you think that other people think you're not actually working and you're outside of your office. So you use the blur because you want to see, or you want to seem that you're a diligent employee, but you don't want people to see the mess.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah,
I'm a
blurs,
big blur man.
I'm a virtual background man.
Really?
Myself, yeah. I use, I think, Contemporary Office 3.
Is that
Why do you know that
Hangouts?
govy, bro?
Yeah, it's just a virtual wall with a little pillar somewhere. It's basic.
I feel like, I don't know. I just can't get around the virtual backgrounds.
Because I don't want people to know where I'm working. As in, I don't work, as in I work in different rooms or different or my partner's place. I just keep the virtual background so it's consistent.
Exactly. You're exactly what I said, mate.
Exactly.
But if you're, I actually,
But
have
I'm
the
not
opposite-
working from the beach. I'm not doing that.
No, but I have the opposite fear. I'm like, I don't love because I think that if you put a virtual background, you got something to hide.
But I've done it from day dot. So there's pure consistency there. If I've gone blur and then all of a sudden I'm using a virtual background one day,
That's the
then
thing.
I think I'm hiding something
Yeah,
here.
I'm in deep trouble because I also like to work from different locations, but I've gone the blur since day one.
Silly.
What if you just go no camera? Just turn the camera off. You
I
just
don't-
see your name.
That's poor.
Don't
I think
rate
that's
it.
poor.
What about on a big, all hands or something like that? Like a big meeting.
Well, that I'm taking from the beach. Respectfully. I just need to listen.
I had this is not my story. I heard this from someone else. This is actually I heard from someone else. There was a all hands, and then obviously everyone had the camera off, and that's fine. It was on mute, and people should have been on mute, and someone was talking, and then suddenly in the background you hear yeah, can I get a lychee muffin, please? And then obviously on Zoom, even though your camera's off, you're not on mute and you talk, you light up yellow, right?
You go straight to the top.
And you go, and everyone
Yeah.
saw, and then the director's like, oh, so and so, can you turn your can you mute, please?
Yeah.
Didn't hear, and then a couple of minutes later, you hear, oh yeah, is that my cappuccino?
Good
So obviously
man.
this person was at a
Macca's
cafe.
or a
And
cafe
apparently
or
they
something.
got messaged one-on-one later on.
See, that I feel like is fair game. Because if you're in an all hands, I don't know, it's different because I've never worked at a big company with big all handses. Everything that I've been to is cameras on, you have to be somewhat present. But if you're just listening and you're in all hands, there's 1,000 people and the
I
CEO
think
is
that's
giving
fine
address.
as well,
Do
but
what you
just
need.
fucking at least go on mute.
Yeah, that's a
bare
village.
minimum. Yeah, so this would have been 100, 200 people in this all hands. So that's fine, but come on, that's
Yeah.
village.
Last category. We have so many, but we can only pick 4. The last one is outfit. So what you are wearing to the office, this is what it says about you. I'll kick us off again. My one is activewear. So if you're wearing activewear to the office, you're a wanker. Straight out, you are a wanker. You've probably come from a run club, a Barry's boot camp, or private PT session, and everyone needs to know about it. You spend your mornings shaking that little fucking protein shaker with the little ball inside so actually everyone can hear. And you take your meetings on loudspeaker in the middle of the office floor so everyone can hear. And you're just yelling about anything, even asking about how people's days, you're just yelling because you need everyone to know.
I've never seen anyone in our office with activewear, but the people who do go for a run or gym, they'll at least have the decency of changing in the change room and then coming back up,
Yeah,
back in the attire.
for the most part, people change, but every now and again, there's someone that just can't be bothered and they just go in their running shorts and their top and whatever, and they're just there obnoxiously.
That's crazy. That's actually outrageous. You can't be doing that. I feel like you go to the gym in the morning, maybe they do a little drive-by around the office, to get a piece of toast, and then they go change. I've never seen anyone stay in their activewear. That seems
Yeah.
outlandish to me.
It is extreme, but extremes happen
It
sometimes.
happens.
I do have in terms of the protein, there's a person I know in our office who's a health freak. This guy's is it possible to have 0% body fat?
It's not
This
possible,
guy dead
but-
set is a bodybuilder.
Mm,
So he's a freak. And I've never seen him actually eat physical food in the office.
right.
His lunch, he goes to he has his own protein powder that he creates. He gets the 0 sugar, 0 calorie protein powder. He adds some other shit to it. He brings his own pack every day, gets a glass from the kitchen, puts the powder in, puts some water, mixes it together with the knife, drinks it, and that's his lunch every single day.
There you go.
He doesn't eat anything else.
It's dedication, dude. He's jacked, obviously.
He's huge.
yeah, okay.
So you've never seen him eat physical
The running
food.
joke I've said in the office so many times. I've never seen so and so eat physical particles of food before. Liquid only diet, protein shake only. That's it.
It makes his own protein shake. That's crazy.
makes-
That's crazy.
With a knife, with a stir
Yeah.
as well. Look, I to be fair, at home when I drink protein shakes, I also use a spoon to stir because I can't be bothered getting the shaker. It's all lumpy and like
this
quite
guy
gross.
This guy,
Maybe that's the food part of his thing. The
it's like a
lumps.
Yeah,
thick.
bit of-
It's like bubble tea. The lumps are the kernels.
So there are people out there like that. Mine is if you're wearing a full suit. If you're wearing a full suit, jacket, and tie in the office, you're either in big law or big finance. You either have a client meeting or you're quickly going off to an interview at another firm.
Yeah.
And I feel like with these people, you're either the most senior person in the firm or you're the most junior person
Yeah.
in the firm. You never find the in-between people wearing a full jacket, tie, everything. It's always, your partners and MDs or the try-hard juniors.
Mm.
That's actually so true. When I was at PwC, literally everyone in a suit was, the partners who are there. You rarely see because they're always going to the client and everything. Or just the people started a couple months ago and they still feel like they have to dress up, even though everyone else is still in somewhat more casual clothes.
Is it maybe just like if you're a junior, you're still trying to like impress and like you're still trying to, get a footing?
But it's too extreme because like managers or whatever, like they dress, let's say a polo or a t-shirt, but
Yeah.
jeans and everything. So wear a button up if you want. Wear some suit pants. We don't need to go suit jacket, tie.
Dress
all
for the
that.
job you want. That's
Just
what
for
they
the
say.
job you want, exactly.
The next
not
job
for
you
it.
want is senior, man. And
Yeah.
seniors, they're wearing t-shirts.
The last one we have is if you're wearing a Ralph Lauren button up. So to be honest, if you're wearing a Ralph Lauren button up, you're the office NPC, in my opinion. You've got a set of 6 of those on rotation. You got the white one, classic Mondays, Tuesday pink one, Wednesday blue one, and you just keep rotating. It's basically the only thing you wear to work. Your whole chat revolves around reliving the glory days of your high school, private high school, may I add. You also buy them maybe one size too small, just because you want to flex that you've been at the gym. You know what I mean? You don't see an oversized these days. You just see them a bit too tight. They're the types of blokes who say, we'll put a pin on that. And they think they're the Wolf of Wall Street because they have access to the Bloomberg terminal. They usually work in finance at a job that their daddy has given them. And to be honest, their whole purpose in life is to become corporately enslaved just to make as much money as possible so they can fund their lifestyle.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, because if you're wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt, you're wearing it with a purpose because it doesn't really go with like a suit, right? Because there's a little logo.
Mm.
So you're wearing it because you purposely want to wear that one. And everything you said, those are the attributes.
So you own a couple of those.
Actually, I don't think any of mine fit me anymore.
Too small. One size too small.
Way too, couple 3 or 4 sizes too small.
What's the attire? Because I don't know this, right? I work in tech. I advocate everyone. I'm trying to get mine into tech right now. There's no shirts. Shirts don't exist. So what are you wearing? Are you just wearing a plain white t-shirt, white shirt?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I will say, I reckon the Ralph Lauren is the people who want to be in finance. I feel like the proper people in finance are wearing brands you probably never even heard of, like cashmere silk white shirts. Like no one's wearing Ralph Lauren shirts with a suit, to your point. Everyone's wearing like white or like blue, light blue, like
Little
just
Van
solid
Heusen
color.
number.
Yeah, like a Van Heusen, essentially. Yeah, like that
like
sort of
5
gear.
tiers above.
Yeah. What is the 5 T's as well? I don't
Like
know.
even
what it is.
above like an MJ Bale, like even further above that.
Not our tax bracket.
Yeah, not in our
okay.
tax. Even above Peter Jackson, like well above our tax bracket.
Above Taracash? Connor?
On par. YD.
YD levels. all
Yeah,
right.
the outfits, like the
If
shirt, the chinos, the boots, I feel.
That's a Friday look. Monday to Thursday, it's the full suit.
But are you chucking a tie? No, I see those blokes
It's
with...
just jacket,
Just
no
jacket.
no tie.
Yeah.
Unless you're meeting a client, then it's you got to get the tie on.
Dare I suggest, I feel like the boots, the Iron Williams, whatever, classic, right? That shows your status. Dare I suggest the ties these days people are wearing
If you-
are the
yeah.
status symbol.
Ties are a if you know
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like you got to have ball knowledge to know your ties. And I know a few people who like buy $200-$300 ties.
What?
Man, I'm going to politics and I'm buying a $20-$30 one and calling it a day.
Have you moved on from the skinny ties?
Oh yeah, dude, I loved a skinny tie back in the day. Nah, I've well moved on past.
How thick is your tie?
Not the big daddy.
How girthy is
yeah,
your tie?
not the big one. It's in between the skinny and like the big fat ones
So
that
the
you
meds.
see. Yeah, like the normal ones.
I've got into the fatties.
Really?
Yeah.
That's you know that Kush is clipping that part.
What a mad
You know that the start of the episode when you hear the doo 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 doo, and then it's just gonna go to Rose saying, "I love the fatties."
He's getting into them.
Oh, sorry, you're getting into the fatties.
Because the thing is, ties I place no value on, and the only time I wear a tie is when I go to a wedding. And so I go to Vinnie's and I have a look at the local selection, and all they have is fatties. So
Because people give them away because no one wants to wear them anymore.
No, but the fat ties actually look pretty baller. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, you've lost me there.
Seriously?
Nah, I hate
Old
the fat
money
tie.
type vibe, no? With
Yeah,
big ties.
And when you do like a nice double Windsor, chuck on
Double
the fatty
Windsor for
tie.
sure. Yeah. No, not a half Windsor.
No, I'm a double man.
Double
myself.
Windsor. Nah, you can't do the fatties.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's segment. Let us know if there's any categories you want to see, and if you agree or disagree with some of the stereotypes or the claims we've put on these items.